everybody. Happy Friday. Today we are going to be sharing some ideas with you on how you can use highlighters in your classroom with your students to help them self-assess their own writing. Now, yes, we say highlighters. Every student would benefit immensely this year by having their very own set of at least 5 different colors. If possible, get your students a pack of highlighters from the dollar store, from Target, on your school supply list. But if you're not able to, that's okay. Crayons, colored pencils work just as well. We will just encourage the students to underline their sentences rather than striking through them as they would with a highlighter. But every student would benefit immensely by having their own set of tools to use for highlighting. Now, let's talk about how they can use them. There are so many different ways that we suggest using highlighters in our curriculum. You can use highlighters with students as young as 2nd grade all the way up through 12th grade. One of the most common activities that we will suggest is having students use highlighters to identify each part of a particular paragraph. So let's say today you're teaching expository and you're teaching students how to write an introduction paragraph. An example would be what you see on your screen. After teaching students the 3 different parts of an introduction paragraph for an expository essay, you would have students write their own introductions. After that, you would encourage them to get out their highlighters and you would guide them through a quick 2-minute self-assessment. You would say, everyone, please highlight your hook in green. Please highlight your 3 reasons sentence in red. Please highlight your closing sentence in blue. It takes 2 minutes for them to do that. When they're done, you say, okay, everyone look at your introduction paragraph. Let's do a quick reflection. What did you do well? And they would look and say, oh, I had all 3 pieces. What did you forget? Maybe they forgot their hook. It'll be very apparent to them if they forgot something, because guess what? If they forgot their hook, there'll be nothing to highlight in green. That would be a quick eye-opener and aha moment to them that they did forget something. If they didn't, then we ask them, well, is there something that you could improve, something you would like to revise? And then they can look and decide, yes, maybe I could make that closing statement a little bit better. We give them 1 minute to revise and fix anything that they forgot or that they want to improve on. And then finally, we ask them to turn their introduction paragraphs into us. Now, at that point, we will be able to grade our students' work and we will know who truly understands introductions and who needs more instruction. If after a quick highlighting self-assessment and an opportunity to revise, if a student turns in a paragraph to you that is still not properly structured, then you know that you need to give that student a little bit more explicit instruction. So perhaps you pull them the next day for a skill group or a mini conference. Now, you can do this with an introduction paragraph like we discussed. You can do this with a body paragraph or a conclusion, but you would just have the students highlight each part of the specific paragraph you are working on. The next thing you can do is to use highlighters to help students self-assess whether they have balanced the elaborative techniques in their essay. So for our intermediate and middle and high school students, inside of our lessons for every genre is one of these color-coded essays. Now, the colors indicate a type of elaborative technique. Everywhere you see blue is evidence that has been quoted. Everywhere you see green is evidence that has been paraphrased. Everywhere you see pink is the writer's own thoughts and ideas. Now, in this lesson, we explain to our students, if you view this example essay as a whole, there is about the same amount of each color. That means there is a balance of each type of elaborative techniques. Well, just like this lesson provides a good example of balancing for our students, we can have them use highlighters to self-assess their own use of elaborative techniques and decide if they have or have not balanced each type. So after writing the body paragraphs, we can say to our students, please highlight all of your quotes in green, please highlight all of your paraphrasing in blue, please highlight all of your own thoughts and ideas in pink. They do that, and when they're done, we guide them to do a quick reflection where they just look at the colors on their paper. It's very obvious if there is a balance, if there's the same amount of each color. Now, if it's not balanced, let's say they've overquoted. Well, if they have over-quoted and they've only done a little paraphrasing and a little own thoughts and ideas, then when they look at the colors, their paper is going to be drastically imbalanced, right? The quoting color is going to dominate the entire essay. Now, that is a very big aha moment to students. I quoted a bit too much, which is a common mistake that many students make. When students use highlighters to discover that for themselves, they are so much more less likely to repeat that mistake next time they write than if you simply grade their essay and write at the top, you quoted too much, right? They'll read that, they'll put it to the side, and it won't make much of an impact. But if they discover their own mistakes, they will be less likely to repeat it in the future. And that's what we want, long-term learning as teachers. One last great way you can use highlighters in your classroom is for those kiddos that just do not use conventions. And we all have those kids, right? Every year, those kids that say to you, Miss, how come when you graded my essay, you put all those dots on my paper? What are all those dots? Okay, the kiddos that act like no one has ever explained punctuation or capitalization to them. This activity works great. You give students a very simple topic to write about, because the focus of this activity is conventions, not content. And you say to them, please write your introduction. When you're done, raise your hand. They write their intro, you go on over and you say, please highlight your indented space in yellow, please highlight your punctuation in blue, please highlight your capitalization in pink. Now, if they're a kid that struggles with conventions, they're not going to be much to highlight. So we have a quick conversation with them about where their punctuation should go or why they should capitalize these particular letters, and we quickly help them revise. Then we say, now write your T1 paragraph. When you're done, raise your hand. When they're done, we go back over. We give them the highlighters again, and we repeat the same thing. Now, maybe this time there's a few punctuation marks and a few letters are correctly capitalized. Then we do this with T2, T3, and C. So what we're doing with this activity is we are constantly having students stop while writing, self-reflect, and self-assess. Did they use conventions correctly or not? If they didn't, let's quickly fix them and let's try again. So we're trying to break that bad habit of not using punctuation and capitalization correctly. Oftentimes, especially in the intermediate grades, students who do not use conventions correctly have simply fallen into a bad habit. They've fallen into the bad habit of not putting punctuation marks in their papers. So we need to constantly stop them and give them a chance to retrain themselves and correct that bad habit. This activity works wonders with those students. Now, if you would like a chance to win a free set of highlighters for your entire class, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do so right now. What you see in front of you, that really cool top score writing highlighter, it's awesome. It's one highlighter that's got 5 different colors on it. Kids love it. They snap off the tops and they have multiple colors in one highlighting tool. We are going to give away an entire class worth of highlighters to one lucky winner this Sunday. All you have to do to be entered into this giveaway, go to our VIP Facebook group where you found this video and post or comment on the mini training that you felt was most helpful to you this year. Okay, we've done several. Pick the one and just share with us which one was your favorite and why. That will earn you an entry, and on Sunday, we will choose one lucky teacher who will win a free class set of highlighters. Thank you all for joining us today and have a wonderful weekend.